What's happening, party people? Happy Motivate Monday. Pardon the red eyes. I definitely pulled an all-nighter. But listen, I had to share this with you because there was a message on the Pivot podcast, and I thought it was very timely and very important for any of you that are out here getting after it. Any of you that maybe you're selling yourself a little bit short. I want to talk about rejection being your best friend. Rejection being your secret weapon if you know how to harness it the right way. It's one of the most important lessons I've ever learned in my journey. I was in 8th grade and I was going to a dance. It was the first time. It was a school called Regina, all-girls school, and they invited the boys to this dance. It was a Saturday evening, and it was the first time I was ever in that setting. And all the girls were on one side of the gym, and all the boys were on the other side of the gym. And one of the things that Ryan talked about on the Pivot was the importance of cultivating interpersonal skills, self-confidence, posture, belief, and you can't get those things hiding on social media. You can't get those things hiding behind text messages. You have to have interaction with someone, and you got to also interact with the gatekeepers, the moms and the dads of the world. So I'm at this dance, and again, all the boys are on one side of the gym, all the girls are on the other side of the gym. And there's this song, and we all have a song, right, that we get excited about. That's like our jam. And at that time, it was Play Another Slow Jam. Play another slow jam this time next week on a slow jam. Okay, so I hear the music and I get excited. Inside, I'm excited. I'm like, oh, that's my jam. So I didn't want to walk across the dance floor. I was like, man, I got to walk all the way across the gym floor and everybody's going to see me. And I got to find a girl to go dance with. So I'm paused. I'm hesitating. Hesitation breeds roadkill, by the way. So I have fear, and I'm allowing the fear of rejection to stop me from taking any action. I'm all in my head. If you're in your head, you're dead. So I was like, man, bump this. I'm going to go because the song is my jam. So I start walking across the floor. Now, as I'm walking across the floor, I become very conscious that people are watching me walk. And so now I'm trying to be like cool with my walk, but instead of being cool, I'm kind of nervous and my legs are not cooperating and I'm starting to sweat and I'm just kind of walking like there's something wrong with me. And so by the time I get to the other side of the floor, I know some of the girls are like, is he okay? And so I went up to the very first girl and I was like, hey, would you like to dance? And the first girl was like, no. And I was like, in slow motion, I could feel all the eyes burning a hole in the back of my head. And I was envisioning all of my boys clowning me for the whole week at school, how I got rejected by the one girl I walked all the way across the gym floor to ask to dance with. And so I was like, okay, let me just pivot and ask another girl. So I go to the next girl and I was like, hey, would you like to dance? And she was like, no, thank you. And I was like, but the music was still playing. And I was like, yeah, but that's my jam. That's my jam. That's my jam. And so I started to allow the music to come inside, and I started to allow myself to feel the music. And so I went to the next girl. I was like, hey, would you like to dance? She was like, not right now. And so by the time I got to the 4th or 5th girl, I was like totally relaxed, right? Because I was like, you know what? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Like, what? Am I going to die? No, I ain't going to die. I already got humiliated the first time. It can't get much worse than that. So let me just keep asking. So by the time I got to the 4th or the 5th girl, I was like, hey, would you like to dance? And she was like, yeah, I like that. You got some rhythm. So I grabbed the girl and I went out onto the dance floor, and I hadn't slow danced before, but I was like, okay, where'd I put my hands, and how do I, am I close? Am I, and so we got the hips and we got the hip sway going, boom, boom, couple of hip sways, and then the song was over. Now, I got a chance to get on the dance floor and dance to my jam. And it was only a few seconds, maybe a minute, because I had wasted so much time because I allowed first my fear of rejection to stop me from taking action. I allowed me playing in the future, how people were going to be laughing at me and watching me and seeing me get rejected and humiliated and how that was going to feel. All of that is my projection into the future of a negative outcome. That kept me frozen from taking action. And then by the time I got around to it, I was still so focused on what everybody else was thinking, I couldn't barely get across the dance floor. And so all of these things were hesitations that were self-induced. I could have gotten the no from that first girl much faster. And I could have gotten to the fourth or fifth girl much faster and had more of the song to enjoy and dance to. I could have been dancing to my jam a lot longer had I not got in my way. If I was not in my head, because if you're in your head, you did, I would have taken action sooner and gotten to the desired outcome faster, because I just would have done it. So ladies and gentlemen, rejection can be an incredible tool of instruction. Rejection can be an incredible tool of strength and empowerment. Rejection just lets you know you got options. You see, one of the things that I took from that experience was, why do I care? I know that if I ask enough people, I'm going to find the right one because I got options. Why do I care? Do you know how many women there are? There are literally millions of women. Why are you tripping, E, on somebody that said no to you at an 8th grade dance? Just go ask somebody else. It changed the whole dynamic of my confidence. It just changed everything for me. So guess what? When I was faced with adversity again, I just handled it differently. I remember I got my front teeth knocked out when I was a senior in high school. Now, when you're your senior year, you're supposed to be on top of the world. You're supposed to be dominating. And here I am with no front teeth. It was embarrassing. I didn't like it. My breath was stanking because I couldn't brush my teeth for a while because I had to have surgery and it was just a hot mess. So I couldn't do anything to agitate my mouth. So my breath was just foul. So imagine trying to have some game to talk to girls senior year of high school when you're supposed to be on top of the world and you ain't got no front teeth. But you know what? It didn't bother me. I was like, I'm going to find somebody that wants to hang out with me. I'm going to find somebody that wants to kick it with me. I had ridiculous confidence. I had no business having that kind of confidence. But you know what? I found some girls that wanted to go out. I found some girls that wanted to hang out. I found some girls that felt sorry for me, that wanted to take care of me, because I just figured early on in life, rejection is a part of the process. It's just the way it is. You're going to get rejected. People are going to turn you down. People are going to turn away from you. People are going to end things. They're going to walk away from you. Business deals are going to go south. Jobs are going to let you go. Relationships are going to end. That is part of life. But you have options. And if you allow the tool of rejection to be a tool of empowerment, then guess what? You're going to get stronger. You're going to become mentally tougher. You're going to become much more confident. You're going to become much more attractive so that there's a better option, a better opportunity, a better partnering, a better relationship that's coming down the pipeline, because you're not going to be defined by what you have gone through. You see, rejection is a part of the process, ladies and gentlemen. It toughens you up. It builds your confidence. It builds your self-esteem. It builds your self-image. But what most people do is they allow it to do the opposite. They allow themselves to be defined by somebody else's no. Somebody told you no. So? A business deal went south. So? A relationship ended. So? It happens. Rejection is a part of life. But check this out. The more rejection you experience, the more success you can have. The more rejection you experience, the more success you can have. Do you know how many times I've been told no in my dating life, in my business life, in opportunity seeking? Literally thousands of no's, thousands. but it led to a life of freedom. It led to a life that I could never have imagined living if I was not willing to go through that, ladies and gentlemen. So powerful. So I don't mind. I'm going to continue to be rejected. People are going to continue to look at me like I'm crazy. People are going to continue to blow me off. People are going to continue to say no. And they may say no in a nice way. It's okay. That's part of the process. But I know I have options. I know I have value. I know I'm bringing something great to the table, just like you. You're bringing something great to the table. When you project a negative, envision a negative outcome, that's called anxiety. Anxiety comes from imagining a future with negative outcomes. You're living in the future, it creates anxiety. Depression comes from the past. You keep reliving the past, reliving the mistakes over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so you allow yourself to become defined by your past. Let your past be your teacher, not your torture. That's where depression comes from. But here's the powerful part. Now watch this. Listen to this very carefully. You can change your past. You can change your past. I've taken traumatic events from my past and I've simply redefined them. I've changed them. I look at them differently. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's not how it really happened. Here's what really happened, because I have the power to do it. Is it delusional? Probably. Is it helpful? Of course it's helpful. Is it empowering? Hell yeah, because I can't do anything about it anyway, so I might as well rearrange it so that it puts me in an empowering position. And with my future, I'm focusing on positive outcomes. I'm focusing on the things that I am manifesting. And that allows me to move forward with confidence in creating. Create. Commit first, create second. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't allow rejection to freeze you up. Use the metaphor that I gave you about the dance floor. Just get on. Let your music, just let it drip all over you, and go ahead and move to your music. Dance to your music. Dance to your song. Dance to your jam. And when you do that, you will find someone that wants to dance with you. You'll find somebody that wants to dance with you in business. You'll find somebody that wants to dance with you in your spiritual growth. You'll find somebody that wants to dance with you in relationship. You'll find somebody that wants to dance with you in doing something epic in this world. But you got to dance to your own music. And don't be afraid of rejection. Embrace it. Use it as a tool. Use it as a gauge, because the more rejection I get, the more successful I can become. Not that you're going out and you're seeking failure, but you understand that rejection is simply a part of the process. Have an awesome and amazing, fantastic final week of the second month of the first quarter of 2025. Keep making it do what it do.